Alright guys, this next video is on personal loans, so another really life applicable topic. This should help you out with exercise 3F.3. So another common way of borrowing money is with a personal loan. This is a bit nicer than the line of credit because you're not risking stuff, although in the conditions you probably are. They just get you with interest here, mostly. The purpose of all loans really is to give you access to a large sum of money right away, and then you pay that back plus the interest. They're not just going to let you borrow money with no payment for it. Remember, we talked about the start of the year, interest is the charge for using someone else's money, and with loans it's usually a lot. Heck, most of the time the amount of interest you pay to borrow money is more than what you borrowed in the first place, especially the case with houses. So the whole point of loaning or getting a loan out is to get a large sum of money, which you pay back plus the interest they charge, but with regular and small repayments. So you use this money, you get access to a nice lump sum, but you pay it back slowly. The only problem is that part of those repayments are for interest that they charged you. Now the interest that you're charged is calculated on whatever is left of the actual loan, the principal that you haven't paid off yet. So basically you're paying off everything part by part. So an overview of how it works, because this will be applicable in year 12 when you have to understand exactly how loans work. For the whole length of the loan, you are making the same regular repayment. That stays the same. And each of those regular repayments is partly paying off the interest that they charged, that percentage, but also partly paying back the principal as well, what you actually owe them. What you actually borrowed, sorry. So early on, because your principal hasn't been paid back much, most of your repayments are paying off interest because the percentage is higher. 5.5% or something of $100,000 is going to be a larger number than, say, 5.5% of $50,000 when you've paid off some of that loan. So as the debt reduces, as you're actually paying off the principal with your repayments, more and more of your repayments pay off the principal and less of it is interest. You won't really see that at work here because you're only going to a year 11 level, but hopefully this gives you an idea of how it works in depth so that you're a bit readier for stage 2. Other things to think about are most of the lending institutions are going to charge you fees to just get this set up. So like an application or establishment fee, usually between $100 and $150. Many loans also have an ongoing service fee that you just need to pay on top of it, maybe $10 per month, just to keep it going. So for 11 general maths, you're going to be using a table of repayments. In year 12, you're going to be using a calculator to work it out. But right now, you just need to read off a table of repayments. The table you're going to be using for your exercises and tests is going to be page 83. And that shows the repayments you're going to pay per $1,000. So that's the maths part of this that you're going to have to worry about. It tells you what the repayments are, as if you are only taking out a loan of $1,000. So you need to work out how many thousands of dollars your loan is for the different questions you're facing. So there's 3 main things that you need to be able to find in these kind of questions you'll be facing. The monthly repayments, using that table of repayments, easy, you just read it off based on how long the loan is going to be and what percentage interest rate it is. You need to be able to work out the total of the repayments. So once you've worked out what the repayments are going to be, you can work out the total amount of money you're going to be paying by timesing the repayment by how many you're going to be doing. And then the interest charged, you need to be able to calculate, which is basically going to be how much you totally pay minus how much you owed them in the first place. The difference between those is how much they charged you to use their money, which is the interest. So let's run an example here to show you working out of these 3 separate things. You're going to be using that table on page 83, so be ready with that in your textbook. So let's say you're able to negotiate a $16,500 personal loan and you want to buy a car with that. The loan's going to be repaid over 4 years at 5.5% per annum interest. So first, find A, the regular monthly repayment. So I'll do this in blue. A. So if we look at that table, so from page 83, 4 years at 5.5% per annum. So if you read that along, go to the middle column which says 5.5% annual interest rate and go down to the loan term of 4 years. That is $23.2565 per month per $1,000 borrowed. Okay, we need to do a little bit extra maths because obviously you didn't just borrow $1,000, you borrowed 16,500. So you need to work out how many thousands you actually borrowed. How do you do that? Well, you go 16,500. How many thousands are in that? So you divide it by 1,000. And that is going to be, well, I'll just jump the decimal point 3 times. That's going to be 16.5 thousands borrowed. Okay, so that's how many times you need to times this repayment to work out how much your actual repayments are going to be per month. Because right now, this number is for borrowing $1,000. You need to work out how much your repayments are going to be for borrowing $16,500. And we've just worked out it's going to be 16.5 times whatever this is. So 16.5 times by 23.2565 equals, grab my calculator. So while often the examples that I do are from the book, I still work them out live for you. 16.5 times by 23.2565. That comes to 383.73. That's the 2 decimal places. Now you notice in the book, for loans, you round to next 10 cents. So the next, meaning the next up. So what's the next 10 cents closest to $383.73? Well, the next highest 10 cents is going to be $383.80. So that's telling you basically for this loan of $16,500, your monthly repayments are going to be $383.80. So monthly repayments. Alright, so that's A. That's the hard part done, basically, because the total repayment's easy. Total repayment is the regular repayment, which we just worked out in part A, times by the number of repayments. And that's easy to work out based on the information you have in the question. So we worked out in part A, the regular repayment is going to be $383.80 times by, now you need to think about the number of repayments, but it's pretty easy. We said it was 4 years, and we said the repayments are monthly. So 4 years times by number of months in the year, 12. So that's going to be $383.80 times by 48. Scroll down. You're running out of space there. That comes to $383.80 times by 48. So in total, what you're going to be paying this bank for this loan is $18,422.40 total, which obviously is more than the car, or more than the loan that you took out in the first place. What is the difference between those two numbers? Why are you paying more? Because they're charging you interest. So the last section, the last thing you need to be able to calculate is interest, is going to be the total that you paid, total repayment minus the principal that you, or the amount that you borrowed. Principal. So it's going to be $18,422.40 minus, we borrowed $16,500 in the first place, minus $16,500, that comes to $19,22.40 interest charged. So whoever this bank is, whoever this group was that you negotiated this $16,500 personal loan, you're taking out the loan, you're repaying it back over 4 years, and you managed an interest rate of 5.5% per annum. Obviously, overall, it's going to be easier for you to be paying $383.80 monthly instead of just having to save up $16,500 and just blow it all on the car in one go. But in the end, what's hidden by that is the fact that they're charging you $1,922.40 just for that privilege. Alright, so that's why it's hardly recommended to ever borrow money. You shouldn't be using money that you don't have, yeah? The only time you should be borrowing money really in your whole life is to buy a house. And that's just from life experience myself, okay? So hopefully this helps you out with exercise 3F.3. Hopefully you see how it's applicable for you outside of school. And I'll see you on the next video.